My name is Eleanor Hayes. I'm 68 years old. And for the first time in decades, I wake up to the sound of birds instead of silence heavy with disappointment. It wasn't always this way. There was a time when my home was filled with laughter, when my sons would run through the kitchen after school, begging for cookies fresh from the oven. But that was long ago, before life hardened them and before I finally chose myself. It started on my birthday last year. I turned 68 alone, though I'd planned everything for a family celebration. I'd called my sons the day before James and Ryan. James, the older one, always busy with his sales job, answered distractedly. "Yeah, Mom, we'll be there." "Don't worry." Ryan was quicker. "Of course." "Ma, see you tomorrow." I believed them. Mothers always do. I spent the morning preparing. The table was set with my mother's old lace cloth, the one I saved for special days. I baked a roast with all the trimmings potatoes, carrots, gravy thick and rich, a cake from scratch, chocolate, their favorite since they were boys, flowers from the garden in a vase at the center. By noon, the house smelled like love. I waited. The clock ticked past 1, then 2. I called. No answer. Texts went unread. By 4, the food was cold. I wrapped it up, put it away, and sat in the living room as the light faded. Neighbors' voices drifted in, families gathering, laughing. I cried quietly, the way you do when the hurt is too deep for noise. All those years raising them alone after their father left. Working double shifts as a nurse. Skipping meals so they could have new shoes. College funds scraped together penny by penny. And now, on my birthday, nothing. Around 9 that night, the doorbell rang. There they were, dressed up, smelling of cologne and bar smoke. James grinned sheepishly. "Hey, Mom, happy birthday." We got tied up. Ryan hugged me quick. "Yeah, sorry." Friends' thing ran late. They barely noticed the table or the cake. Instead, they sat down and started talking about their troubles, car payments behind. Rent due, just a little help. Mom, like always? I stared at them. My boys, grown men with good jobs, wives, lives full of weekends away and new gadgets. I'd seen the photos online, vacations, dinners out, parties, while I stretched my pension thin, skipping doctor visits to send them emergency money that was never emergencies. Something snapped that night. Not anger. Exactly. Clarity. I told them I was short this month. Couldn't help. They left frustrated, muttering about next time. But there would be no next time. I didn't sleep. The next day, I started planning. Quietly, I contacted an old friend from nursing days, Martha, who'd become a financial advisor. She helped me move my savings to a new account they didn't know about. I met with a lawyer affordable through a senior center referral. Changed my will, the house and what little I had would go to charities for abandoned elders and Martha's grandkids, who'd always sent me cards. My sons. A small token each, enough for a reminder, not enough to live on. I watched them more closely after that. Followed their social media, saw the lies pile up. Broke but posting from concerts, new trucks, fancy dates. One day, I even drove past James's work and saw him leave with a flashy watch. I'd helped pay for with Bill money. Months passed. They called only when they needed something. I said no each time, claiming I was struggling too. Their frustration grew, but I was done. I sold the house the one. I'd paid off a loan and bought a small cottage in a quiet mountain town. Far away, with a porch overlooking pines. One-way train ticket booked. I packed light, clothes, photos of my parents, books I'd always meant to read. Left the family albums behind. The night before I left, I invited them for one last dinner. They came, expecting the usual bailout. The table was set beautifully roast again, their favorites. I served, then laid it all out. Screenshots of their posts. Receipts of money I'd given over years over $15,000. Their texts mocking me as the bank. I showed the new will. The sold house papers. They exploded anger, denial, tears. We're your sons. You can't do this. Jamis yelled. Ryan begged, promising change. But I'd heard it all before. I handed them envelopes, old photos of us when they were small, and letters explaining everything the sacrifices. The hurt, why I was choosing peace now. You've had your whole lives to value me, I said. I have whatever years left, and they're mine. They left furious. I closed the door, felt light. The train ride was peaceful. Rolling hills, no one needing anything from me. My new home is simple, cozy. I walk trails every morning. Join a book club with women my age who've built lives on their own terms. I garden, bake for myself. Watch sunsets without waiting for a call that never comes. Sometimes I wonder if they regret it. If they see now what they lost. But mostly, I don't think about them. I'm Eleanor, simply Eleanor, a woman who finally put herself first. And it's the most liberating thing I've ever done.